Today we're going to be talking about Tare's AutoTune. Reached out to me and asked if I would do a video on their new version. They're calling it AutoTune 2026. This thing is crazy. Basically, they're just taking all of the best aspects of AutoTune Pro, which is their flagship, AutoTune Artist, which is the one that I've been using for years, and they're putting them into a all-in-one, more simplified version that you can use for everything. And it stacks up to the quality of AutoTune Pro and taking some of the aspects from AutoTune Artist and throwing them all together. So they completely recoded this one for Apple silicone, so all the M1 Plus Max, this one is designed to work perfectly for. And it seems like it's smoking the older versions. 134% more CPU efficiency with the ultra low latency mode. And from what I'm seeing, that's spot on. So we're looking at it right now. You can see they've condensed down to the most important stuff that you need. We got retune speed, humanized flex tune. These are like my stock settings that I rock with. Pretty high retune speed. You know, we're tuning the shit out of my stuff. Humanized 20, flex tune 20, just so it's like kind of mild. I'm rocking modern, but you know, we could flip to classic for that T-Pain vibe. We got our presets, bunch of cool guys in here. DJ Swivel, Legend, freaking Zed. This is where I would probably go in and save my own default preset. Let's go and do that. Save preset as Harry was here. Start. Boom. Maybe they'll add mine in there. So, you know, just like the old versions, we've got vocal range. We can select where our range of the vocal is that we want to have running. And then we can flip to instruments, high, mid, or bass. Super fire. So in this project, this is a little song I'm working on. Honestly, the biggest update for me is just the ease of taking notes in and out. I have songs all the time that I'm recording and I know what the standard major minor scale is, but we'll be singing some note that's out of the scale. And it used to be really kind of hard and annoying to do that. And that is super easy, just to add a note, take a note away. Couldn't have been designed any better. Yeah, as you guys know, I'm using two versions of AutoTune generally in my chain. So often I'm either monitoring through or actually recording, printing AutoTune through console right here, where I got my UAD version of AutoTune, real-time advanced, and this works off of the DSP in my Apollos, because often I'm recording vocals into Ableton that are full mixes, and Ableton's notoriously bad about dealing with latency when you've got a super stacked project. So I got 12 instances of our new AutoTune 2026. We got one on lead 1, lead 2, 8 of them in my backgrounds, and I'll get to why this looks like this because I made a sick little macro setup. One on ads, one on throws, and that's it. 12 AutoTunes. So the first thing that I wanted to try was working in Auto Key, which is their automatic key finder, and then it can sync all the other AutoTunes in an entire session to whatever key you decide it needs. So I already decided, I know what the key of the song is. It's B flat minor. So all I have to do to set every one of my AutoTunes to B flat minor, which used to take forever, send to AutoTune. Literal game changer. Been waiting for this my whole life. So as beautiful as this interface is, you know, we like to make my little macro things right there. I'll open it back up just so we can see what we're doing. But basically I mapped my most important values in an Ableton macro setup. So I don't even have to open the plugin. We got retune speed, humanized flex tune. By default, it is what it is. These numbers are not going to reflect exactly the numbers in the plugin because Ableton doesn't let you customize macro ranges, but hopefully Ableton take the note. That'd be sick. But we got retune speed, humanized flex tune. We got our vocal range. If I ever want to change that, like if I'm singing high, maybe I want to flip that on my higher backgrounds or ads or whatever. We got classic and modern, so I can flip that. And then we got low latency mode. So I basically just made this little macro setup for all of my entire session, so I don't have to open the plugin. Pretty sick. Sometimes I want to crank the retune speed on all of the AutoTunes in a background group, or even automate it if I want to. And I made another little macro setup using my multi-map plugin. It's Max for Live. Little device right here looks like this, but don't need to see that. Just need my one knob right there. And I got retune speed on all 8 of these AutoTunes. So I can literally change all of them to off all the way down at 400, which is like no AutoTune. Turn this thing up, 127%, and we're at 0. Super tuned. That's one knob right here because this thing literally changes every single one of my background AutoTunes. Pretty cool. I knew that this new one was going to take to my crazy back end way of of hacking stuff to less clicks with my macros and whatever. And it does. This has totally been integrated in my whole vocal template. I've had zero issues. I've even noticed that a lot of things in the past, a lot of tracks that I've mixed, I would go in and take the AutoTune and commit it wherever it was in the track. Because sometimes I would find there was little digital clicks and stuff that would come up that wasn't in the audio. It was coming from AutoTune. So I have to go in and commit it and make sure there's no artifacts. And then if there were, I would go edit them out. But I've not heard any of that stuff, which is a massive time saver. This thing's crazy. Huge shout out to Antares for hooking me up and letting me try this out, because I think you guys are going to really like this. I'm definitely sold. Take my money. That's it for this one. Thanks, guys.